Hey guys, hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Qasim and I'm an 18-year-old entrepreneur from the UK. So today we're going to be covering a question that I get asked a lot of the time, pretty much every day, and that is, what do I do? So today we're going to be covering my exact streams of income that make me multi-six figures to 7 figures a year. So guys, hope you enjoy. Let's get into it.
Watch on my wrist, never show me crunch time, cause I ain't never let it come to that one time.
Streams of income that make me multi-6 to 7 figures a year at the age of 18. First of all, we're going to be covering my main businesses. So of course, my main business is my agency. Second of all, we're going to be covering my investments that make me sort of a semi-passive income, as well as sort of investing for the future. First of all, of course, probably heard already if you've watched my previous videos or you know anything about me, I run an SMMA, a social media marketing agency, or what I like to call it is an e-commerce marketing agency. It's the most simple and best term in my eyes. So yes, of course, I run an e-commerce marketing agency, and pretty much what that is I run a team of people that work with e-commerce brands. So e-commerce brands, loads of examples out there. They're just a company that sells their products online. So Nike, Adidas, Puma, whatever else, any clothing brand you can think of, any jewelry brand that sells online, that's just comes under the category of e-commerce. So yeah, I run a team of people that work with these brands to scale their business through different channels. So of course, to kind of break it down, the way you scale an e-commerce brand, the way you grow an e-commerce brand is mainly through your online presence. So what that involves is mainly your social media. The main way these brands make money is mainly through their paid ads. So their paid ads that you see, of course you've probably seen on your Instagram, your YouTube, your Google, whatever else, you've seen ads come up from different brands, and you might have even bought from them, you might have swiped up and bought something. So that's the main way they make their money, is pushing their products and pushing their brand onto people's screens, and then from there they buy from that. So that's what my agency provides for brands. So 3 services that we have right now is paid ads. So that's most channels that actually make people money. So Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Google, they're the ones that make the most money right now. Second of all, email marketing, just kind of ads but through emails. And then third of all is just kind of organic social media management and growth. So that's just posting, managing a page, replying to comments, that sort of thing. So just organically managing a social media page of a brand. So yeah, that's kind of a bit more about the actual agency and what I actually do. That's of course a question that I get asked a lot of the time, and I know that I actually haven't properly covered it. So yeah, hopefully that kind of explains that. To kind of take you through how the kind of money works with the agency, the way I charge my clients is every month I charge my clients. So right now, my minimum monthly fee is £2,000 plus a percentage of what I make them. So every month I always, so when I sign a deal, it has to be a minimum of £2,000 every month, and then at the end of every month I also then bill kind of a percentage, anywhere from 5% to 20% of the profits that I make that brand. So that can take that 2K up to anywhere from 8, 10 to 20 even with some really good clients. Per client, of course, per month. So yeah, that's kind of the structure of how I do my pricing and how I get my money from there. So obviously, being in the e-commerce space is a lot more lucrative for me. It's why I chose to be in this space. And of course, you would have heard the story about how I got into it. How I looked into businesses and then found this one as the one I wanted to start, because it's service based, because it's the way you can charge people, because it's not actually you providing the service, it's your team members. So yeah, and within the agency right now, I have 19 members. Hopefully, getting that to 12 to 13 quite soon, as I build out some new systems for different parts of the agency. But yeah, that's kind of the nutshell of the business right now. The main sort of way I'm doing it. My kind of plan for this business is to continue to run it for the next few years. Hopefully get it to a point where it's making a stable 7-figure a month by probably the next couple of years. I'd hope so. So yeah, guys, hope that makes sense. Any questions, just leave it down below. I will be going into more detail about the actual business model itself. I don't want to go into too much detail in this video, but I will make a video in the future about why I started in SMMA, my thoughts on the business model, why I think it's one of the best business models to start, etc, etc. So if you want to see that, definitely leave a comment down below. Leave any questions that you want me to include in that video. So my next, I have a couple of businesses in the pipeline. One that randomly started out of nowhere is a cryptocurrency portfolio management company. It's less of a company, more of a kind of consulting kind of thing. It started randomly out of nowhere, but then somehow built extremely quickly to kind of have like a stable six-figure revenue from it. So the way I do that is there's people with a large amount of money who want to invest that into cryptocurrencies, which is something that I'll talk about, like I mentioned, as one of my investments. So they want to get into that, but they don't. Obviously, it's a space that you have to kind of learn about it. You can't necessarily get into it without knowing much. So I kind of take it off their hands very I just take it off their hands and deploy their money in the right places, and then I take a percentage every month of the profits that I make them, and those profits can range from like 1k to a lot. It's 10% of whatever the profits they make. So yeah, that's the kind of second business that I'm now involved in, just myself, no partners or anything like that. The third business is something that's in the pipeline. It's more on the educational side, soon to be announced, hopefully. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Probably in my Instagram and my YouTube, I'll probably announce that quite soon. So yeah, that's a bit more about my businesses. One thing I will say when it comes to businesses, don't put your foot in too many baskets. I see this with a lot of people. They try to start loads of different avenue streams of income and different sort of businesses are providing different services, like randomly out of nowhere. They're just starting to provide this service and that service and do this sort of thing, start a brand, start selling products. But you need to kind of double down on your main business. You just choose one to two businesses as your main business, or your main financial vehicle, and then from there, when you get that to a really good point, you can then maybe start thinking about, okay, do I have the time and do I have the knowledge, the capacity to be able to start a new venture? So second of all, let's get on to my investments. So my investments is something that I'm very proud of. It's something that I'm very happy I got into very early on. So when it comes to my investments, I made the decision around half a year ago to solely invest in cryptocurrencies. Now you might have heard a lot of things when it comes to investments, like stocks, real estate of course, it's a big thing. But I chose cryptocurrency as the thing that I want to put all of my profits from the agency into for the next few years, I'd say, or maybe probably even longer than that. And the reason I chose that, I'll actually go into a lot more detail. Again, I'll make another video about my investments and how you should invest your money. So if you also want to see that and you have any questions that you want me to answer in that video too, just drop that down below and I'll get to that very soon. But yeah, so cryptocurrencies. There's three ways I make money through cryptocurrencies. So there's two sort of investing ways. So there's a long-term investment. So the coins that you might have heard of on the news, big coins, just to name a few: Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, Zilliqa. Big ones that actually have like real world, like they will change the financial system in the coming years. Maybe not right now, but in the coming years. I have that as a very long-term kind of investment, something that I won't touch for multiple years, and I'm happy to keep it there for multiple years. And I know that it will skyrocket. But that's the kind of stuff that I don't look at. I don't even know what the value of that is anymore. I put in an amount. I maybe top up here and there when the price of it dips. But I know in the future that it will go to an insane price, insane value. So that's the kind of coins that I know the fundamentals of are extremely good. They're like world-changing sort of coins, the concept behind them. So I'll leave that there for multiple years, and maybe in a few years I'll look at it again and take it, and maybe take it out if I want to. But the second way I invest in cryptocurrencies is kind of short-term investing. So short-term, mid-term. So long-term for me is like 1 to 2 years, maybe even 3 years. Honestly, I can't see myself holding money that long. Maybe with the first approach I could hold it for that long because I know that in 5 years the whole world would be a different place. So I'd hold that stuff. That could be the stuff that we were using in shops. In 5 years time it could be Bitcoin Cash that we're using to pay stuff with in shops, etc, and online. So that stuff I'm kind of happy to leave. But with the second type of investing is the one that I'm most involved in and the one that I most enjoy, which is kind of short to mid-term investing. So that's sort of 2 to maybe like a month to 6 months. That's kind of the time frame that I hold these kind of coins. A good way to think about it is, if you don't know about much cryptocurrency, there's something called a bull run and like a bull market and a bear market. So right now in 2021, we're in a bull market. So the rest of this year most likely we'll still be in a bull market. So that's why kind of cryptocurrencies, I'm going into too much detail here. I will go into more detail in another video. The way a bull market works is it's repetitive every few years. It stops and then goes into a downwards trend. So right now we're in the middle of it. So it'll probably last for the rest of the year, but nobody really knows exactly. So that's kind of how long I'll hold these coins, like a year maximum. And there's some in there that I'll leave for a year. There's some in there that I'll get into. I'll buy at the right time, maybe when it's dipped, or when it's at a low point, or maybe when it's primed to pump up. I'll buy it then, and then I'll sell it for the profits, maybe like a 2, 3 to 10x to 20x after a couple of weeks or a couple of months. That's the stuff that I most enjoy doing. That's the kind of stuff that gives me that sort of really passive and very good income just from the cryptocurrencies. And the third way is trading. So trading just Bitcoin. So if trading is a sort of skill in itself, and investing is one thing. Investing is somewhat easy if you know what coins to invest in. Really, it's just a case of opening the app, typing the money, and buying. But trading is a whole different ballgame. You have to kind of understand how the charts work, how to analyze, how to do technical analysis, all that kind of stuff. So I am learning. I've been learning for a month or so. I make some good trades here and there, but I'm still in that learning phase. But without a doubt, that'll be one of my streams of income very soon. It's sort of like a very small stream of income right now, but I will definitely grow that in the coming weeks and months. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed that. That's kind of more about my streams of income. That's kind of all I'm doing right now. The stuff that I just talked about is everything that is giving me multiple 6 to 7 figures a year. If you guys have any questions about that kind of stuff, I may have rushed through that, so if you have any questions, please leave it down below. We'll go into more detail about each part. So I'll go into more detail about the business model I'm mainly involved in, which is social media marketing, and the agency business model, and then I'll also go into more in depth in a new video about my investments, which is cryptocurrency, of course. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, like I said before, leave a comment down below, ask me any questions that you want me to answer in those videos, and I will get to it. Apart from that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day.